Hello, this is Steve from the Retroman blog, and today we've moved the Retrosonic podcast studio to a lovely sunny pub garden, and I'm pleased to welcome tonight Hipster Lee from Royale Records. Welcome, Lee.
Thank you very much. Yeah, good to see you, mate.
So tell us a little bit about Royale Records, and I know you've sort of suddenly burst on the scene and snapped up loads of decent bands.
Yeah, it's kind of taken me a bit by surprise, really, because we only really came across the idea of doing something about 8 weeks ago. Our silent partner, as it were, came up with the idea of doing an independent label, and it's just really gone from there, you know, and people have been throwing themselves at us to come on board. You know, it's kind of taken us a bit by surprise, really.
So when you say a record label, are you like a promotion? I thought you were some sort of promotion company as well. Are you doing
everything? Yeah, we do management, promotion, distribution. If you name it, we'll do it. You know, it's going to be kind of like almost like the immediate record label that Andrew Louis Goldham done back in the 60s, is trying to run it along those lines, you know, more of a family affair, as it were.
Yeah, so you're building up quite a strong identity already, haven't you?
Again, that has totally taken me by surprise, you know. It's sort of like just from a little acorn of an idea, it's gone mental, let's be honest with you.
So how did you get, I mean, it was almost like I didn't see anything about you, and suddenly there was an announcement from some of the bands big announcement that we're signing some deal. How did you go around getting the bands interested?
Well, basically, I run a little promotions company called Heavy Ears Promotions previously to that. It was no big shake. We'd done a couple of all-dayers and done a few gigs, and I run Hipsters Mod Club out of it. And I had contacts with bands there, and I had Electric Stars on my books already, and Mr. Bridger. just wanted a rebrand, and it all tied in with the idea of Royale Records coming along, and I just decided to shut down Heavy Ears and lump it all together under the one banner.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much just gone from there.
And who else is involved with you in the...
We've got Sean Oakes, up living in Staffordshire. We've got Ralph Lubeck from Monkey Man over in Germany, who's handling the German side of affairs.
Oh, so he's involved in the backroom?
Yes, absolutely. Well? Yeah, totally. Because he's working in conjunction with a promoter over there as well.
Oh, good.
Because there's a huge market over in Germany for this kind of music and what have you. Yeah. Also, Gary Scott, he managed the Lemon Tops, but he lumped it all together with us as well. He handles our graphics and what have you. And a silent partner who I can't mention.
A secret partner.
A secret partner.
Is he the bankroll in it, is he?
Well, I wished, to be honest with you. It was his little idea, really. He's had it in his mind to do for 5 to 6 years, he said, and he was just waiting for the right people to come along to kind of spin it on and do it. But he's a man of many connections, shall we say, so which is always handy to have.
That's great.
And like I say, it's just really rolled from there.
Excellent. And what was the first band that you approached to work with?
Well, didn't really
approached you.
Well, like I say, we all had Mr. Bridger and the Electric Stars on board, so they were the kind of first two that were really in there. And then it was Monkey Man came along, and Sean just sort of like came along and said, I've got a band, and it was Monkey Man. So yeah, it was those first three bands were Electric Stars, Mr. Bridger and Monkey Man.
And Monkey Man is really Ralph, who's working with you as well as part of the record
That's
label.
right, yeah.
So, okay, well, let's hear a track from Monkey Man.
Just down the street where we once
was Monkey Man and Moving in Circles. So after Monkey Man, and you got the Universal, and you had the Past Tense is a band that I've worked with before, which was interesting
bunch of lads.
to me. They're a great band, aren't they?
Andy's a lovely fella. And I approached Andy actually. Well, funnily, a few months back he actually messaged me and was trying to get some gigs together and what have you, and it all kind of just rolled in at the same time. So I thought, well, I might as well message him and see whether they'd be interested in coming on board, and lo and behold, yes, they were. Yeah, so we're working with them as well now. A young band called The Swagger from North London. They've come on board. They've got a lot of potential. They need a lot of nurturing though. They're young, inexperienced, but I like that because they've got that edge. You know. And I feel we can nurture them and bring them up to speed. Their demo is going to surprise a lot of people, I think. They've recorded their demo tracks, they're just waiting for mastering and mixing down now, so hopefully that'll happen in the next couple of months, and we'll have the demo out. It'll be Carnaby's treat, as it were.
And they're just a young band, are they?
Yeah, they're just a young band, a four-piece from North London, and they really... They sound a lot different to what they look. which totally took me by surprise. It really did. It was, and it was a pleasant surprise. So I'm looking forward to working with them.
It's good to see on your label, you're getting some bands that are a little bit different, in the sound.
I want to try. That's what I really want to try and do. I really want to try and diversify. I don't want to get lumped in to this mod umbrella, as it were, where everybody just sort of like bashes out a few numbers and sounds like you said the chords and what have you. I really want to get a bit of diversity back into things again and try and shift. I say it's a contradiction in terms, but to progress you've got to regress.
So do you think that's something you'd like to do with the bands that are on your label, take more of like a hands-on management role rather than just as a record company?
Yeah,
to try and
totally,
get involved.
Totally. I really want to kind of get involved with these and not interfere so much with their creativity, but just bung them a few bones every now and again of inspiration, and just introduce them to sort of like sounds that they might not have heard before, especially the young bands like the Swagger and what have you. I mean, a lot of these bands are quite old, really, age-wise, but they've still got that young mentality, But there's a couple of younger bands coming along that we'd really like to, mould.
That's good. So tell us what Royale Records can offer a band. If I was in a band now and I come to you and I say, look, here's my demo or some songs, what are you actually sort of practically doing for bands?
Well, practically, we offer them a management contract if they want to take up the management side of things. A lot of bands they want to handle themselves, which is fair enough. There's no legal contracts involved with us because when you start getting the legals involved, it starts getting money and it all starts getting nasty and what have you. We're trying to keep it as friendly and as gentlemanly as we can, So they're all on. All the bands will be on gentlemen's contracts, If they don't want to take up the management, they can just come on board for the recording side of things, or just if they just live gigs, we can get them. We're planning on a series of all-dayers next year, dotted around various cities and towns around the country, just popping up and doing like a guerrilla attack. We'll pop up, do the show, off we go, and then 2 months later we'll do the next one. We'll work it. We want to work with the bands as opposed to working for the bands, So it keeps it all friendly.
So it's more on as sort of you do a gig, then you'll do a contract for that gig.
Yeah,
something like that.
Pretty much, they'll get contracted for that gig, and obviously if we book them up a series of gigs or a tour or whatever, which is in the pipeline at the moment. There's a couple of tours of Germany going to be lined up for next year as well. They will be contractually obliged to fulfil those gigs, But I mean, the bands, if they come on board, they're more than welcome to walk away at any time they want to if they're not happy with whatever aspect of the deal. Basically they'll sign a year's contract with us. At the end of that year, we'll sit down. If the label are happy with them and they're happy with the label, then we'll just carry it on, rolling on. But the main thing is keeping these bands working, keeping them gigging, getting them into the studio and recording and working on what they do best, playing music, making music. We want to kind of create that creativity buzz that was about in the late 60s, early 70s, where like I said before, with the immediate label, they had a whole stable of bands and artists that all worked together. It was almost incestuous, where somebody would drop in and do a guitar lick on that track and drop in and do a vocal or backing vocals or even hand claps, it's that kind of thing where we just want to keep it the Royale family, as it were, is how we're terming it. We just want to keep them working, getting them the best deals that we can get them, gig-wise, trying to get them as much money as long as their expenses are covered and what have you, and so they're not out of pocket. That's the last thing we want to see. So, but basically, it's going to be it's self-funded. The recording side of things will be self-funded as well. The bands will buy into the recording deal to pay for for the recording time and production and what have you, and then finally getting the product out. And then they'll get the products, and as long as they're not silly with it, giving it away to all the mates and all and sundry, they'll triple their money, no problem. You know, that's the kind of way we're going to run it.
So would that be work? You get a percentage of the sales of the CDs, or would they buy a stock from you, for example?
Yeah, they kind of buy a stock off of us, or they can work on a percentage. It really, you know, to us, we'll just be handling the merchandising side of things. You know, what they do with the set amount they're given, it's totally up to them. If they want to make their money back, they sell them. If they don't, they just give them away. You know, so it's totally up to the bands what they do at the end of the day, because we want to leave it in the laps of the bands, as it were. Although we're overseeing everything, we don't want to be like the big sort of like big brother looking over the shoulder all the time. You know, we just want to make sure they're happy and keep them working, basically.
That's a good idea, because I think in the digital age, that label identity is disappearing.
You're losing it. Yeah,
you know, there isn't that immediate rough trade stiff.
No,
there is. I can't think of them. I mean, there might well be something in the dance side of things, or
well, the closest you've got to it at the moment is Eddie Pillar's Acid Jazz.
Yeah,
really. Detour
Records, maybe.
Yeah, to a slightly lesser extent, and I'm sure Dizzy will say that himself. You know, there's only so far that Detour can go. There's also Blow Up as well. Blow Up Records, Paul Tunkin. But yeah, the actual label thing now is fast becoming a thing in the past.
Well, there's a stable of bands where people would buy, like Stiff Records, people would buy Stiff Records, wouldn't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly right. Yeah, it's a shame really that it's gone like that. But I mean, it's technology for you.
Yeah. I hear that you're thinking about doing a recording studio as well. Is that a brand new venture? Is it going to be a new build? Or?
It's been built already. It's actually, the story is, it's a mate of a mate, a millionaire. Up in
it's nice to have a millionaire mate.
Absolutely, yeah. Up in Oxford, he built a studio in his back garden, which is immense. You wouldn't actually think it was in somebody's back garden. It's just in the middle of nowhere, really. And he got a friend of a friend to come in and manage it, because he built a studio but didn't have any idea of what to do or how to run it, basically. So he got a friend of a friend in to do it, and kind of got that a mate's rates kind of cost, you know, so obviously keeping the costs down. So yeah, that'll be up and running hopefully within the next 3 months or so. We can start getting bands in there. It's just got a few tweaks here and there, and a couple of bits of kit to put in there, but and that'll bring it up to speed, as it were. But yeah, it'll be up and running about 3 to 4 months time, I reckon, and then it'll be available to all of Royale's bands, and we'll go from there, really. It will be. It's all state of the art stuff, you know. It's got auto tune. That'll please a lot of people.
And who do you think will be first? Have you got anything lined up for a first release, or is it something?
Well, yeah, we're up in the air on that at the moment, because we've had a couple of bands actually offer us their back catalogues to put out, which we're umming and ahhing over at the moment. I won't name any names at the moment, just in case it doesn't come off. But maybe the Electric Star's second album could be the first. But what we were actually initially planning was going to be a series of motorbikes going past.
Well, we've got to have some sort of background noise in our podcast. It wouldn't be one of our podcasts if there's no background noise.
Fair play.
We might have to come and use your studio to record the next one.
No problem. I'll do it for you for mates' rates.
Okay.
She said, why'd you never call when you say you would? And she said, treat me like a fool hanging around for you. But baby, my life is filled with time that's not my own. You know you gotta trust me. There's never been a doubt you're the only one. And every time we talk about it, just can't find a way around it. Gotta think about old lines again and again. Come on now, listen. This bleeding man is tired and sick of the pain. We need to break the daisy chain and stop wasting away. I'm playing out the sad, pathetic game. Look into my eyes, look into this heart, look into my soul, come into my life. Trust me when I say you better stop pushing me away, 'cause we don't want to end it all this way. Yeah, baby, I know I want you. I want you.
No, the initial idea that we had was to we're going to put out a series of 6-track EPs, 3 bands, each supplying two tracks.
Oh yeah,
It's a 6-track EP. Probably a series of 5 or 6 of them culminating in a compilation album at the end. And that was the initial idea, but like I say, things have moved on in 6 weeks at such a lick.
Yeah.
That we're now being inundated with stuff. Monkey Man have offered us their next single for a release as well. So we've got many different things, and nothing's really been decided as yet. But there will be releases without a doubt, because we've got a stockpile of stuff now that we didn't have 6 weeks ago.
Well, they're getting new bands coming on board. I mean, even this afternoon, by the time I look this afternoon, and coming out tonight, you've got more bands out.
Honestly, mate, they're chucking themselves at me. They really are. At me, look. At us, should I say. Sorry, boys. It's incredible. Every day there's 1 or 2 bands just popping up, and it's hard to keep track of it all at the moment. I'm finding it hard to sit down and get everything down on a piece of paper that I can look at and say, right, we're going to do this with them, do this,
I mean, it comes a point when you're going to have to stop, aren't you? Because
I think so.
Never-ending roster at the moment.
I think we're probably up to around about 17, 18 bands at the moment. Obviously not all 100% on board as yet, but a good 3/4 of those bands are. And now it's just a case of sitting down and putting all the plans into operation, because it's all happened so quick. I can't believe how quick this has happened.
Yes.
You know, it's.
When did it was only a couple of months ago, was it?
It's 6 to 8 weeks ago that we came up with the idea. I was down in, where was it? I think the initial idea got put to me down at Southampton Soul Club, and we just got talking in the garden out there, and here we are now, and incredible. Well, it's been really refreshing for me to see the excitement, I suppose, that's going along with it as well, because everybody seems really keen and saying what a great idea it is, and we want to do this and we want to come on board with you, and diddly do. It's just.
I think so. Yeah, I think I've noticed a real buzz about it, and like I said, I mean that's why I'm here now, because I thought it was a great idea. I mean, I like most of the bands that you've picked up, you know, and I thought it seems to be really rolling along nicely.
It is, It's just a case now of implementing all the plans and stuff that we had, that we thought we were going to have to do a little bit later down the line, and just having to do it that little bit quicker now is to get everything in order, you know, get the contracts drawn up and what have you. You know, that's another bugbear of mine, because I hate wording things. You know, I sit at a computer screen and it's like, how am I going to say this? How do I do a contract like this? But it'll all come together, and all the bands are all, you know, we've said to the bands, bear with us, we're just putting the infrastructure together, but it's a long-term thing, so you just got to look to the future really, and, you know, it's not going to happen overnight.
So tell us about some of the bands you've got on the roster. We've mentioned Monkey Man and the Past Tense. Tell us some of the other bands that you've got that you're actually working with at the moment.
We're working with the Electric Stars, who I feel are actually a fantastic band. I really do. They've got that great crossover potential.
lifts me up, she takes me high, she picks me up to the sky. I'm standing tall above the crowd. It won't be long until I'm falling to the ground. I've been stoned again, pushed back down.
They can appeal to mainstream as well as the mod retro scene. And I think the potential within that band is phenomenal. They're great. They're not a mod band. They're a rock and roll band at the end of the day. You know, I mean, one thing I will say is that Royale isn't a mod record label. It's a record label that happens to have mod bands on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, like I said before, that you reach a certain point and you can't go any further. You know, so. But yeah, the Electric Stars, they've got their debut album coming out on Detour Records. Lucky bugger, Dizzy. That's coming out in September the 3rd, and I'm expecting big things from that, without a doubt, which will be the next step up the ladder for the boys. Jason, Damien, Andy, Johnny and Keith. Yeah, so
that sounds good.
terrific band, yeah. And Mr. Bridger, they're a great band.
Yeah, they struck me. They were pretty raucous.
They're very raucous, very energetic. Yeah, they're great lads. And they put on a great live show as well, which is a lot of bands nowadays. They just tend to get up and there's no movement. It's very static. It's very. But these guys, they fly around. Well, especially Dave, he flies around the stage in his red trousers and looking great, or so he says. But yeah, they're a great live band. They're always pulling punters, never let you down. Lemon Tops, I put them on an all-dayer I think it was last year or the year before. Yeah, they're a great little band, hailing from up north at the up Middlesbrough way. They've got that kind of like psych pop kind of sound going with them as well, and the Universal, obviously, Terry Shaughnessy, great band, been on the scene a while.
I think there's a lot of variety there as well.
Yeah, well, this is like I said earlier on about the diversity of it.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to get lumped in with they're like the Beatles, they're like Oasis, It's want to get a load of different sounds out of these people. You know, and there is a lot of scope there with the bands we got. I mean, Fleet Street, they've been knocking about for a long time now. They split up for a little while and they've just recently got back together again, and they're loving it.
Yeah,
they really are. And again, another originals band. It's terrific. I mean, you can see the influences there, and you can trace the influences on most bands. You can. Electric Stars, you get a bit of the Stones and a bit of the Stooges, but you've also got that psyche edge to it as well.
Sure.
Mr. Bridger, you can see echoes of the Jam there and what have you, and but they're putting their own slant on it, which is good. They're not just going out and banging out millions like us by the Purple Hearts and you know, maybe tomorrow by the Chords. There's a little bit of imagination's going into it, and I think we went through a period where everybody and his brother was forming a tribute band or a covers band, and it stagnates after a while.
Yeah.
And I think we've got a new influx of bands that are just bubbling under at the moment that have got such a lot of potential. And
so are you going out and sort of scouting for bands? Or how,
we haven't needed to at the moment, to be honest with you. They've been either emailing or sending Facebook messages over, or calling me, or getting somebody to call me on their behalf. But I suppose at some stage we will have to go out and do a bit of scouting, because that was what the initial plan was, to go out and do scouting and PR work and whatever. But no, we've not had to go out at all, really, because we all were in the scene anyway. We know, and what would have wonder of YouTube and the internet and what have you. You can scout a band from the comfort of your own front room.
Well, that's true, isn't it?
You haven't got to go to a seedy little club.
Armchair A&R, man.
Armchair A&R, yeah, exactly, yeah.
What have you got a launch night coming up?
Yes, we have indeed, yeah. We've got the official Royale Records launch night. That'll be on October the 6th at the Half Moon in Putney.
Oh yeah, great venue.
Terrific venue, great venue. We'll have the Electric Stars, Mr. Bridger, Past Tense, the Swagger and the Universal playing that night. Also,
all on one night?
All on one night. All doing short electric sets, just showcasing some of the bands we've got, and also a couple of members of other bands will be popping in to do acoustic numbers in between, just while the bands are changing over. We've got Mark Sargent from Scootering DJing and comparing, and Darren Chelsea Boy Bennett will be doing a little stint on the turntables as well. That'll be, like I say, October the 6th, £7 on the door, £5 in advance, tickets from the Half Moon.
It's a bargain, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think you can go far wrong with that. 5 live bands plus guests dropping in. Happy days.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and also series of all-dayers, like I said before, popping up all next year, showcasing the bands that we've got now and hopefully the bands that we'll have in the future.
So you think that it's really going to be from next year that you're going to be really starting all the live events?
Yeah, really, the live events, apart from the launch night, obviously, like we said, but next year will be the crux of it. That'll be when we start hitting towns and cities all over the country, yeah. And Ireland as well. I've got one playing for Belfast as well next year in July.
Okay.
One in Hinckley. They're the 3 that are planned already, so that's the first sort of like 6 months taken care of.
Oh, sounds good. And where can we find out information about all your Royale records and the bands and that?
Well,
you got a website?
Yeah, we haven't got a website set up as yet, but that is in the offing at the moment. But we can contact us on Facebook, Royale Records. Follow us on Twitter @Royale Records, and also email us. All the details are on the Facebook page at the moment, but there will be a website coming up shortly. Yeah, definitely. So
that sounds good. And thank you very much, Lee. And
you're welcome.
Really enjoyed that, and we're looking forward to the launch night. And I'm sure we'll be there, and we'll do a report on that as well.
That'd be marvellous. Yeah, we look forward to having you there.
And good luck with Royale Records.
Thank you very much. Thank you for interviewing me, and great stuff.
No problem.
Nice.
And I'd just like to say thank you to Lee for taking the time out to chat to me. I hope you enjoyed that little run through some of the bands on the Royale Records roster. Don't forget, keep a check out on their Facebook page because they're adding bands all the time. And don't forget their gig at the Half Moon in Putney on October the 6th, where they're doing their launch night. So good luck to Lee and Sean and all involved with Royale Records. And to play out, here's Retroman blog favourites, The Past Tense, and this is My Baby.
A video link. I'll be in Tel Aviv going like that. Sorry, I can't quite hear you.
Yeah. No, but that's a good thing about the podcast and the blog, isn't it? No one knows what you really look like. Yeah. That sounds really good on the radio.
Yeah. Brilliant. I've got the ideal face for radio.